All right.
Whoa. You
Whoa.
what are you guys doing here?
What? This is wild. What a crazy random happenstance.
I can't believe this. This is this is legitimately the craziest thing that has happened to me in my entire life, frankly.
Uh, I mean, and there have been some crazy things in your life.
Oh, have there. Usually they happen late at night, but you know.
Wow. This is good because it happens during the day.
Yeah, I didn't say they weren't enjoyable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is an absolute pleasure running into you again, as it is at
Absolutely.
nighttime. Anyways, introduce yourself.
Ah, uh, I am, of course, Duran Baron or Jetpack Cat Zero on Letterboxd.
And
And
I'm oh sorry, go ahead.
oh, and I was just gonna say, and I'm joined, of course, by
I'm Dominique Beltran, Shadow Spider 004 on Letterbox, and I've been kicking it back up on my review game,
You
and I'm
Have.
proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
And it's been a lot of fun for me. I'm sure other followers of viewers on Letterboxd
I
too.
have like 16, I
I
think.
know, and as one of them, I've been enjoying your recent reviews.
Bro, I felt so sappy. This is for all of my premium listeners out there that follow me on Letterboxd. But I felt so sappy writing that Nightmare Before Christmas review. But like, bro, I was feeling it in the moment, man.
No, totally.
I was feeling it. And I do feel that way. Like legitimately. I honestly got a little emotional thinking that. I'm like, aw, that's really cute. Anyways. um, well, here we are again.
Yeah,
It's been a couple weeks. Has it been a little bit since we last talked? I feel like it has.
yeah. I feel like it's been over a week,
I think it has been. Or like almost exactly a week and a half.
give or take.
It's been an amount of time. Um, Life has continued to go on, I think, for both of us.
As far as we know, yeah.
As far as I know, I could be in like a Matrix simulation kind of a thing, and I wouldn't know, you know?
Yeah.
But
In the simulated world, tell us about some of these reviews, some of the other things you've been watching.
oh my gosh, I've been watching so many movies.
Sure, have.
Let's see. What was the last one I talked about? I don't even remember. Had I started Burton Week by then? I think I had.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
started Burton Week.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah,
haven't
because
gone much farther in Burton Week since we last talked.
you
But it's
I'm looking at your letterbox here, and you've got quite a bit.
I have. I've been watching a lot of movies lately just because it's Halloween and I like watching scary movies, but also just it's nice to have something on when I'm doing homework. But as far as I'll just talk about whatever I feel like talking about because why not, you know?
Hmm.
Um, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street is still one of my favorite horror movies ever. It's so good. Oh, so I went down to Salt Lake City this past weekend, right? For a concert.
Right.
It was awesome.
It loved the what I heard about it.
Bro, it was so freaking cool. But I found out there's a theater down in Salt Lake that was playing Nightmare on Elm Street for just $5. Was right when the concert was happening, and I was so sad.
Oh,
I would have loved to have seen that in a theater. That would have been amazing. But oh well. Um, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory didn't like it that much, but it was okay. I don't know. I don't know. What are your feelings on that one?
I like Shirley and the Chocolate Factory. Um, I haven't watched it in a good few years, but I've always really enjoyed it. I think it's got a great score to it. But
For sure.
I could
That
say
is
that
one
about
thing I noted. Yeah,
I could say that about most things that Danny Elfman has scored, uh,
that's true.
independent on my feelings on the movie itself.
Yeah.
But I like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Do you like
It's
Willy Wonka better?
I do.
I figured.
I'm quite a fan of Gene Wilder, and I really like his portrayal of Willy Wonka. I think he knocks it out of the park. Um, but I will say this: I really like Helena Bonham Carter and Charlie and the Chocolate
Yeah,
Factory. But once again, I can say that about most things Helena Bonham Carter is in, independent of how I feel about the movie.
that is fair. Cause yeah, for real.
But I like it. I think your review of I think your scoring of 2.5 stars is totally accurate. I just think I enjoy it more.
That's fair. That is 100% fair.
But if I was to rewatch it like today, that's probably what I'd give it.
I got you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Um, I watched two horror movies I hadn't seen, recommended to me by one of my coworkers who loves horror movies. So I
Mm-hmm.
watched Antlers, which was mid. It was fine. The monster was really cool, but outside of that, I'm like, eh. And then I watched Barbarian, which is
Which I am very curious about.
oh my gosh. I have not seen. It's definitely the Malignant of this year. It's got that crazy energy. It's pretty gory. Not as gory as Malignant though. Malignant's still more gory, but it was, bro, it was wild. It was
But
really, really crazy, but not unenjoyable. I did like it. Like it was a good movie. I'm not sure if I
okay,
ever want to watch it again because it really messed me up, but
well, sure.
it was good. It was good. Um,
Because I saw you gave it 4 stars, the
mhm.
same as you gave Malignant.
Yeah, no, yeah. Watching Malignant, I had started a couple weeks ago and finally got around to finishing yesterday doing homework. And I forgot just how insane that movie is. I really like it though. It's a lot of fun.
And I
It's
know that
it's
one's.
wild.
I remember when it came out, people, you know, were pretty divided on it, if I
Yep.
remember correctly. Like people thought it was either people thought it was really freaking awesome, or it was like an awful horror.
Yep. Yep. I'm definitely in the really freaking awesome camp for sure. I think that movie rocks. Um, on a lighter note, Surf's Up is still a classic film that deserves
Absolutely.
every single one of those 5 stars I gave it.
You did give it 5 stars. I was just looking at that
Every
right now.
single one of them. Uh it's a little bit nostalgia because that's the first movie I really remember seeing in theaters as like a kid. Like I vaguely remember seeing Pokemon 3, the movie, and Chicken Little in theaters. But Surf's Up the one I really remember I went with my cousin and my aunt. They took us to go see it, and I remember seeing it. So it's a little nostalgia, but legitimately
Mhm.
it is so good. I love it.
It's,
Um, what other things I watched that aren't horror?
I want to ask about Reality Bites
Yeah,
because I've never heard of this film.
I hadn't
But
either.
Winona Ryder, Ethan Hawke, directed by Ben Stiller with Danny
Uh-huh.
DeVito as a producer. Like this really sounds like a great movie.
So that's basically what just happened to me. Like I was just putting away, I work at a library, and I was just putting away books or movies, I mean, and just came across that one. And I'm like, oh, I love Ben Stiller and Winona Ryder and Ethan Hawke, so why not check it out? And I really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was Ethan Hawke's character is a terrible person, and he still ends up with Winona Ryder at the end.
Disappointing.
And I really don't like it when movies do that. But outside of that, this movie was really good. Uh, I wouldn't necessarily say anything like groundbreaking or super deep or whatever, but just as like an enjoyable film, like slice of life kind of film. I quite liked it. I thought it was very
Right.
good.
Mm.
I'd recommend checking it out if you want to have the
No,
opportunity.
I added it to my watch later list because
Oh,
I'm
very
quite
good.
intrigued.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And everyone gives great performances in it. What else? Oh, and then Reservoir Dogs. I have found out I've almost seen every single Quentin Tarantino movie at this point.
Mm,
Um,
awesome.
Reservoir Dogs is like the first one I've actually been like, oh yeah, I'd watch this again. That and Kill Bill. I quite like both of those. But all the
Mhm.
rest of them, like, this is a good movie that I never want to watch again. But Reservoir Dogs is really good, and I watched it again. It was good.
That's awesome.
Have you seen Werewolf by Night yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I want to.
Definitely
Um,
recommended.
yeah, that's what I hear. A lot of good things about it.
Definitely recommended. I quite enjoyed it as a fun little just 40-minute romp through horror tinged Marvel. I thought it was pretty fun. And your boy bawled like a child watching Edward Scissorhands last week.
Oh, yeah,
Like an absolute child. Usually I cry
I
a
know
little bit, but whew, this time
that.
it just got me bad.
And see, I'm always amazed by how much you can watch it because I love Edward Scissorhands. I think it's a great movie. I love the music. I love Winona Ryder. I love almost everything about it. But I have such a hard time rewatching
Why?
it because it is such an emotional film,
Hmm.
and it's it's pretty brutal. I don't know. It has quite an effect on me
Yeah.
that I just don't always enjoy
That's fair. I'm
because
oh
if
sorry, go
if
ahead.
I was with if I watched it with you, we would both have been bawling like children. And
Fair
you
enough.
know,
And then where would we be?
and then where would we be? So
We can't
I
both be Little Spoon.
and have we tried?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know
So
why. I realized watching it this time that I just really like tragic romances, and I don't know why.
yeah,
It's
no, no,
fun.
not
It's fine. It's there's nothing wrong with me. There's,
no.
just working through some things, Talk to my therapist, she'll tell you.
Oh, I don't think she could, not legally.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Otherwise, I would have long ago.
Oh, so yeah, no banger film. Like every time I've watched a number of my all-time like top 5 films this week, and
Mhm,
every time
mhm.
I watch one of them, I'm like, yeah, no, there's a reason why this isn't like at the very top of my list. Like
Right.
Spider-Man is
Oh,
how
I
does
love
Into the Spider-Verse even exist? Like seriously. How did
absolutely.
that movie even come about? Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good. And then I watched Nightmare Before Christmas with my mom because we do every year and I love it. And like I said, I don't know, I just
The
like
tradition.
spending time with these characters. It made me very happy. And I didn't have to like think about my own personal problems and how the character's
Right.
plight relates to mine and that kind of stuff like I do with other movies. I was just there vibing with some good friends, watching them steal Christmas. It was great.
I I was at Walmart actually just a few hours ago, and I found this one of the like blacklight sets of Funko Pops.
Oh,
A
they're so
Nightmare,
cool.
yeah, A Nightmare Before Christmas blacklight set. There was like a set of five.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was wild. So it
That
had,
is
of course,
wild.
Jack and the mayor. Uh, I'm trying to remember who else. Sally,
Oogie Boogie
uh, Oogie Boogie, and the dog. I can't
and
remember their names.
Zero.
Zero.
Very nice. Oh,
And it
that's
was
so
just a
cool.
set of five. It was
Ah,
so cool.
that is so rad. Yeah. So, anyways, I think that's everything. Oh, and She-Hulk is a TV show that I thought was quite funny, but has some issues here and there. But it's
Oh, I've been
pretty
avoiding
good.
that show like as much as I can.
Huh?
I've been avoiding that show as much as I
I bet
can.
you have. I'd recommend at least watching the Daredevil episodes.
Maybe,
Just watch episode 8. That's the one with
maybe.
Daredevil. It's really good. Daredevil rocks. But
I do like the
I don't. It's so complicated to talk about because like so many people have such strong feelings about it. more in a sense of like what it represents to them as opposed to a show itself.
Yeah,
And like it's fine. It's honestly really funny in parts. Like I enjoyed watching it. But people are people.
yeah,
People are internet are people on the internet.
yeah, exactly. I know. I don't know, and that's how I feel about a lot of the more recent Marvel shows like this and Miss Marvel. That for the target audience, I'm sure that show is wonderful. For but I'm realizing more and more that I am not that target audience. Whatever that means, that show is not made for me.
Interesting. See, and I
And
well, go
and so
ahead.
to avoid any more frustration,
Hmm.
I just choose to stay away from it. And that's one of the reasons that I haven't watched Werewolf by Night is because uh, it's Marvel's current track record has not been holding up for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. But I've heard lots of good things about it and lots of good things from you and others.
Yeah.
And so that is one that I do want to watch because I am very intrigued by
Yeah.
it.
I get not watching She-Hulk or Miss Marvel for the reasons you explained. That makes sense. I would definitely recommend Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, and I will. That one and Moon Knight are the
Oh,
ones that
Moon
I'm
Knight is
most
so
interested in.
good. I love Moon Knight. Did I talk about See How They Run last time?
I don't think you did.
Okay, well then, real quick, if you like murder, if you're me, basically, watch it. It's really good if you like murder mysteries, if you like quirky Wes Anderson films, if you like just a good time, highly recommended. It rocks. Anyways, all right, back to you.
No. I've been a little less busy, but I don't remember if I talked about live action Scooby Doo or Young Frankenstein last time.
Nope.
Nope. So that's kind of what I started off spooning season with was live action Scooby Doo and Young Frankenstein. Uh, I love both of them for completely different reasons, but I do love both of them. Um, and then I watched some of my personal favorites, including Clue. I've been really wanting to watch Clue lately, so I finally rewatched it.
Oh, very
It's just
good.
as good as it ever is. I absolutely adore that movie and everyone in it, and it is just genuinely in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I think Clue is phenomenal.
That's valid.
And then Shaun of the Dead, which
Oh,
I know you rewatched recently as well
it's so good.
because it's awesome. I love Shaun of
It's
the Dead.
so good.
It's every time I rewatch it, it is I just appreciate it more and more. All of the parallels, all of the reoccurring jokes. I don't know.
No.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
And
no.
uh the kill the queen line just hit different this time. I don't know why.
It did. It did. Dang.
But no, absolutely love Shaun of the Dead. It's just one of the best movies.
It
Uh
really is. Like 100% agree. Like a lot of my movies that I really like, they're on my top 50 list. I'm like, oh yeah, I know this is definitely a movie. But like Shaun of the Dead, for some reason, every time I watch it, I'm like, man, how did I? Because like Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I'm like, these are freaking brilliant films. Some of my all-time
Absolutely.
favorites. Shaun of the Dead, for some reason, is just always like surprises me every time how good it is. Even
There's
though
a
I know it's
brilliance
like
in its
my
simplicity.
I exactly. I think it's like I said, it's not my favorite Edgar Wright film, but I would say it's his best film. Like
And
it's
I would
just
absolutely agree.
it's so good.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. It is his best movie, although not my personal favorite. Um,
Hot Fuzz is
I
your favorite, right?
yes,
Yeah.
I
Another
adore Hot Fuzz. And I do plan on watching that sometime soon.
very
Uh,
good.
I also watched the first Rambo movie.
I
Watched
saw
First
that.
Blood.
I own it and have been meaning to watch it for like months and months now, and I just haven't gone around to it yet. And seeing your review made me want to watch it even more again.
I was very impressed because I had seen an edited version of it on TV years ago,
Hmm.
and I remember enjoying it. I remember finding certain aspects very interesting, but this time really just blew me away how good a movie this was. I was
Hmm.
expecting something more along the lines of Commando
Hmm.
or even Terminator, where it is more mindless. It's where it's just action. And I
Hmm.
guess I shouldn't use Terminator. Terminator does have real substance to it,
Yes.
um, but man, there is so much good stuff in Rambo, and I love the commentary it makes on the treatment of war veterans after Vietnam and police brutality. Like there is a lot of stuff packed in there, as well as just a really cool action movie. And I talked about this in my review. And that trope works. That's why I love Predator so much. I loved this movie. I loved Rambo because it's this idea of, you get a force, a task force, a group of people out in the jungle, and they think they're hunting Rambo, but there's even a line where it's like, no, he's hunting us.
Yeah.
And I just like that so much. I love Predator that they think they're out there chasing the predator down, but in reality, it's the predator who's hunting them. And I just think it's a neat trope. I think it was very well done. At some point, I will watch some of the subsequent, at least the second Rambo movie, which I know
Hmm.
is a step down, but I was really just impressed by the first one. I had a great time watching it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about it, which makes me want to watch it so much because yeah, no, like I am vaguely aware of the character of Rambo, as this, gun-toting, Goodfellas-esque kind of, shoot him down all the time, spout some catchphrases kind of guy. Side note, I've also never seen Goodfellas. Um, but just like we haven't seen Godfather still. Have you seen Godfather yet?
No, I have
We still
not
haven't
seen
seen
it yet.
Godfather yet. But yeah, no, I read some of the reviews on Letterboxd and a lot of people were like, this was not what I was expecting, but what I got was way better than I was expecting.
Absolutely.
So I really wanted to watch it.
Um, so anyway, and genuinely, Sylvester Stallone's performance was quite incredible, and he has quite an emotional scene at the very end that really just showcased how good of an actor he is. He's not just a muscle, but really has some acting chops on him. So
He really does. It's a shame he doesn't use them
he
a
doesn't use them
lot.
well. He doesn't get a lot of roles that require it. But I feel like Rocky also
Oh
showcases
yeah,
it. A lot of the
Rocky
Rocky movies,
does a lot of the Rocky ones do. Not all of them, but like
not all.
Rocky 1, I think Rocky 2 as well.
I think Rocky Four does as too. Or
Balboa, the Creed movies,
Balboa.
Creed 1 especially. He's great
Did you
in
see
Creed
we
1.
just got the
Yeah,
first?
I did.
Yeah, for Creed, first poster for Creed Three. So
Yep, I'm excited. I really like the Creed movies a lot.
yeah,
Rocky 4 is definitely my favorite. Rocky 4 is
absolutely.
so good. I want to watch the re-edited cut he made a couple months ago.
Hmm. I do too.
I've been intrigued to watch it. Okay, well, very good. Very
I
good.
finally got around to continuing the James Bond
Very good.
extravaganza, and I watched You Only Live Twice, which was pretty fun. Um, it very classic Bond story.
Hmm.
Austin Powers and specifically Doctor Evil draws a lot of inspiration from this movie,
Yeah.
and so that was a lot of fun. And a lot of the reviews on Letterboxd talk about the ninjas and the secret ninja training grounds that the head of police in Japan has,
Hmm.
which I think is valid. But there's a part where Bond launches himself out of out of a submarine like a torpedo. He gets into the little
I think I
torpedo
remember you mentioning that.
and fires himself out. And by the end of the film, that's still what I was thinking about. I was
That's
like, wait
fair.
a second, did that really happen? Um, and then I finally watched Scream.
Yay! What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think it is a movie that only Wes Craven could have pulled off.
Yeah, no, agreed. That
That
man
movie
just knows
was
what he's doing.
is so close on teetering on a parody of horror
It's
movie.
it's so close to being a scary movie.
Exactly. But it's not. It is still a genuine slasher flick. It is still scary, but
Mhm.
it is so close to just being a parody of itself that it just that meta humor is balanced on a needle point, and
It
he's the
really
only one who
is.
could have pulled it off. And I have absolutely mad respect for that. And I enjoyed the film. I gave it 3.5 because I think it is good, but it's really not. It's not something that I plan on
It's not
rewatching.
your cup of tea.
Yeah, I do want to watch some of the sequels
Yeah, I
because I
haven't
am
ever gotten around to them.
very intrigued by them, and I just really liked the meta humor, and I'd love to see what they do uh, continue on from there. But yeah, I liked Scream, and I think, like I said, Wes Craven is the only person that could have pulled it off, and Matthew Lillard is a gem. I adore that man, and he is so good in that movie.
Is
Um,
your favorite role of his brief cameo in Looney Tunes Back in Action,
it is up there. Uh,
but not your favorite?
it is hard to beat Shaggy.
I mean, that's true.
I, in Monsters Unleashed,
He's so good.
specifically.
He's so good.
So, but I do really like his brief appearance in Looney Tunes.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Well, I
So anyway,
definitely recommend watching Dream Warriors and New Nightmare. Just throwing that
yes,
out. Since
yes,
you
and I do
clearly
want
do at
to.
least enjoy Wes Craven's style.
I do.
Definitely
I
recommend.
do. So, so anyway, I'm really happy that I got around to watching Scream. I thought it was really good, and I think it's on the movie much like Nightmare on Elm Street. The more I think about it, and the more time I spend thinking about it,
Hmm.
more I think I'm gonna like more.
Mm.
Because when I first watched Nightmare on Elm Street, I thought it was really good. Um, but the more I thought about it, the more I've kind of simmered on it. The more I'm like, you know what, that movie was pretty cool. I really liked that, and I
That
think Scream is going to be very similar for me.
very good. Very good. Anything else?
No, that's about it. I plan on watching the newest animated Scooby Doo tonight. The Scooby Doo Trick or Treat.
Okay. Have you watched Happy Halloween Scooby Doo?
Not yet.
Okay. Because one of the reviewers I followed just reviewed it and they really liked it. And so I looked at some of the reviews and it sounds incredible.
I would love to. Uh, I don't think it is on any streaming service yet. I may have added it
Uh,
to HBO Max,
I
which is where I'm
see.
watching this newest one because they just added it like today or yesterday. Um, but if they do have it, then I will absolutely watch it because I will watch it. I have really been trying to just take in as much Scooby Doo as I possibly can so I can
Very
accurately rank it
good.
all.
Oh, shoot.
And yesterday we just finished Mystery Inc. And man, that show was weird.
Incredible. Incredible. I just looked up my review for Scream and I also rated it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
Crazy. Huh. Neat. Okay.
Well, Dominique,
Yes.
what do you think we should talk about?
Oh, my good friend and love Durin.
Yes.
Today, I thought it'd be kind of cool if we talked about movies and movie franchises that decided to be dumb.
Oh,
Yeah.
dumb. Dumb in what way?
Well, you know the phrase jumping the shark,
Sure.
like that. I'm gonna send
Uh,
you the link to the list I'm looking at
please
right
do.
now. There we go.
Let's look at this list.
You know it's good because the first picture is of Indiana Jones getting in the fridge.
Oh, absolutely. I know exactly. All right, let's get into this.
Let's get into this.
All right. Okay, so we're looking at 16 ridiculous moments where a great franchise officially jumped the shark. Credit to Jacob Shelton and
Shout out to
Brandon
Jacob
Monk.
Shelton. He's a good personal friend
Yeah,
and sponsor
and
of this week's episode. Fun fact.
of course,
We couldn't get a famous person to do it this week. I mean, then again, famous is all kind of relative. And when you know everyone that a normie would consider famous, does it really mean anything anymore, you know?
no.
But
Well, already just looking at the first one on this list,
yep.
I think this is off
Uh,
to an arguably good start. I don't know. Some people might say this is really good, but it starts off with Spider-Man 3 when evil Peter Parker dances down the street and into the jazz club.
do you want to go first or should I go
Well, I will start by saying this is probably my favorite part of the movie.
first? To be fair, probably mine too.
It's not,
Good.
I mean, it's not good, and yeah, I'd agree it's probably jumping the shark, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. Look, friends and family, whoever may be listening, sponsors on Patreon and OnlyFans.
Steven Spielberg.
Stevens, good old Stevie. GDT's listening probably
Yeah,
too. Franny doesn't do too much podcast, so I don't know about him,
no,
but Stevie and Tom's definitely listening. So,
yeah.
all of you good friends out there. Um, look, I'm not a huge fan of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, all right? I think Spider-Man 2 is good, and that's about it. And so seeing this one on here really resonates with me because I do think Spider-Man 3 is kind of the shark jumping moment. Whenever lists put Spider-Man 3 above the Amazing Spider-Man, I'm like, really? No. But that
See,
said,
I'd put it above, and I know this is controversial with you, but I'd put Spider-Man 3 above Amazing Spider-Man 2.
well, if I'm being objective, I probably would. Subjective, both one and two amazing are at the top.
Yes.
But no,
Yeah.
I could probably agree that Spider-Man 3 is a better movie than Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'd much rather watch Amazing Spider-Man 2 just because it's really pretty and has Emma
Yeah.
Stone.
It is very pretty.
So, But that said, I agree. I think this scene, maybe it's just because it's been memed to death, but I do think this scene is really hilarious.
It's really, really fun.
Really funny. Oh, I love that Peter Parker just thinks like, wearing dark clothes and fringing his hair a little bit will be like really cool. I love that as he's walking down the street, like some of the ladies are like, "Oh wow, what a hot Tobey Maguire" for some reason, and other ladies are like, "Who the heck is this dude?" You're like, "Is it cool or is it not? What's going on here? I don't
Right? Or,
understand."
yeah.
Oh,
So, a strong start for this list. A movie that is high on my list of to watch is number two, Escape from LA,
oh yeah,
when
because that's the sequel to Escape from New York, right?
which I loved.
As does, oh, not this one. Well, I mean that one too, but apparently John Carpenter, according to that
Yeah.
interview I showed you, also
Yeah.
really loves Escape from LA. So
So I'm very excited to watch it. But when Snake and Pipeline chase a car by riding a giant CGI wave, and if that doesn't
that sounds
sound
incredible.
awesome, then I don't know what is. And especially since Snake Plissken is he's such a over the top serious character. Like he takes himself way too seriously, and that is one of like I find that comical in an Escape from New York, and it's not supposed to be, but Snake takes himself really seriously, and it's really funny because it's just Kurt Russell being very edgy.
I
And
love
so
Kurt Russell.
imagining, I do too. So imagining that character riding a giant CGI wave just makes me want to watch this
It,
movie even more.
it sounds pretty rad. Full stop.
No, totally.
I'll have to check out both of them soon.
No. And then going down to three.
Ah, I saw this one in theaters.
Ooh,
Yeah, Furious 7 when a car jumps from one skyscraper to another skyscraper. Listen, all right, let me tell you. As let's see, this came out 2015. As a
wow.
16, 17-year-old boy, just getting to the end of high school, this movie rocked. It was so cool. And then that ending, I did tear up a little bit, all right? Having seen I've seen 5, 6, and Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
And I don't really like any of the rest of them. But I do admittedly have a very big soft spot for Furious 7 here. I do distinctly remember the moment of, yeah, Vin Diesel, I think, just driving a car
From one
through the
skyscraper.
window into another window. It was
Absolutely
wild.
incredible.
It was wild. Have you seen it? You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen seven.
Yeah, it's something. I don't know why they didn't have the whole submarine chase from 8. I feel like that's even more of a jump, but
Oh no, we're still pretty early on in this list.
it's true. We might get there. That's a
We
good
might get
point.
there.
Oh, I know you have some thoughts about this next one here. I knew it had to be on here somewhere.
it had to be,
It
and
had to
sure
be.
enough, it was. The James Bond, and that's the thing. I feel like James Bond has had more than a few shark jumping moments.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, said I just watched one where he shot himself out of a submarine. Uh, I there's some weird stuff, but this one is bonkers. And Die Another Day is genuinely one of my least. It is in my top three least favorite James Bond movies. And when I remember seeing when I was really little and thinking, man, this is awesome. And that whole movie is a shark jump. Uh, and Pierce Brosnan deserved a better send off than that.
Truly.
So yeah, when he's surfing a CGI tsunami, uh, it, it's it looks about as good as you'd expect from a late '90s CGI tsunami. So take with that as you will, if you haven't already seen it.
I still haven't seen, well, as discussed at some point in one of these, I still haven't seen a lot of the James Bond films, so I haven't seen this
Yeah,
one. But man,
it's a pretty good movie.
I believe it. I believe it. I'll have to watch it at some point.
Ooh, and going down to five.
Oh,
Wow.
this movie, it's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of Crystal Skull. For those of you who've seen it, you know exactly what the movie we're talking about is. Um, I like to pretend it doesn't exist.
No, no, absolutely.
I don't think it's like quite as bad as it gets a rap for, but it's definitely not good. The problem is it's just nowhere near as good as 1, 2, and 3.
I
Like,
agree.
ugh, those original 3 Indiana Jones films are so, oh, so good.
Mhm. So
Just
yeah,
ah.
surviving a nuke in a fridge is one of the biggest shark jumps, uh, and hands down one of the most genuinely unrealistic I don't know what I'm looking for, events in any movie I can think of, and
Uh-huh.
that's even by like movie standards.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, like seeing a car jump from one skyscraper to another in the Fast and Furious universe
I mean,
makes
it's the
sense.
Fast and Furious movies, exactly.
Like it's whatever. That's fine. But even by Indiana Jones standards, where aliens and uh, all the other things that happen throughout the trilogy exist, this is still way too out there.
Yep. Yep. Yes, it is. It doesn't help that you start with this, because this is the first Indiana Jones in decades.
Right.
And this is what we started with. This is the first scene you see of him being back. And this is what we get.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh man. Do you remember it? Did Steven Spielberg direct this one?
Did.
He did. Rip. Rip, rip, rip.
Yeah.
Oh, Stevie. He was still a young director back in the early 2000s. So he, I guess maybe it was just a little bit of a stumble,
A bit of a stuff. Yeah.
There's a bit of a stumble, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Not every movie can be a hit unless you're like Edgar Wright or Guillermo del Toro. Then it can be.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the Cabinet of Curiosities.
Me too. I'm
That's
also intrigued to watch his stop motion Pinocchio movie
Pinocchio. Yeah.
just because I love JDT or GDT and I love stop motion. So
Yeah.
there we go.
It's a quick tangent, but yeah, really excited for that.
Yeah. What else?
Number 6.
So I haven't seen this movie. Have you seen this movie?
A long time ago, I don't really remember it. I do remember him straightening out the Leaning Tower of Pisa for no other reason than to be a jerk. So Superman 3, when synthetic kryptonite turns Superman into a petty jerk. Yeah, sounds like jumping the shark to me.
It
Uh,
does. Superman's like it's always funny. It was funny to me when Man of Steel came out, and we got a whole bunch of backlash from people being like, "Superman wouldn't act like that." And I'm like, "Have you seen like Superman 3 and 4? Superman 2 for that matter, he just straight
mhm,
up kills Zod. Like pushes
yeah,
him. I mean, like sure he pushes him off a cliff, which is a bit different from like breaking his neck. But
right,
still, it's not like it's and that was like 30, 40 years ago minimum.
right.
Man of Steel rocks. I don't care what you guys say. I know you
Uh,
agree with me,
yeah, I like Man of Steel. Uh, yeah, I like Man of Steel.
but not Superman 3.
Not so much. Man.
Not Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
No, it's been even
Not
longer since I've seen that one, so
not Supergirl starring Helen Slater.
I haven't actually seen that.
Not Crypto the Superdog, the animated TV show from the early 2000s.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I can't.
I do plan on watching Super Pets though.
It's good. Like I said, it's got that energy of Lego Batman. Not to near
Yeah,
the same extent, but it's honestly really enjoyable.
yeah. So I'm excited to watch that.
Very good, very good. I can't think of
Well,
any. Oh, not Legion of Superheroes, the animated TV show that was short-lived in the late 2000s. I have seen that. Recommended. It's really good.
well,
Ooh, another personal favorite franchise for you.
yeah. It, so this one is The Lost World, when Jeff Goldblum's daughter uses gymnastics to kick a raptor to death.
I mean, out of all of them, I'd give him this one.
Yeah. So saying it's one of my favorite franchises is hard
Oh yeah, that's true.
because I wouldn't say it's a favorite franchise. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies. I love Jurassic Park, but as a franchise, it struggles, and this is one of the reasons why. Um, a
Yeah.
lot of the movies just jump, and it's hard because it's not like I feel like there's a lot of franchises, and I feel very strongly about the Alien franchise. Bringing back Ellen Ripley time and time again, having to make up these ridiculous ways to get Ellen Ripley back time and
Alien
time again.
3.
Alien 3, Alien
Alien,
Resurrection,
whatever the fourth one is called. It's the fourth one called.
Resurrection, I think, isn't it?
Alien Resurrections, especially.
Like they have to come up with these ridiculous ways when Aliens should have been the end of Ripley's story.
Yep.
And so I feel like unlike that, there could be plenty of good reasons to go back to Isle Nublar and have to deal with the dinosaurs again. And I think they should have gone on and done new characters instead of bringing back Ian Malcolm.
Mm.
But I feel like there are good reasons. There is potential for continuing the series, for continuing to have these adventures, uh, stuff that happens at Jurassic Park. But they never seem to go with any of those.
Yeah. We just,
So
I guess we just need to keep Steven Spielberg from making any more sequels.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he do the sequels though?
He did Lost World,
Oh, yeah.
but not three.
Because I feel like three is a better one than Lost World, but
Yep.
it's not saying
Agreed.
that much. But yeah, Lost World is wild.
It truly is. I love the big tease of, hey, dinosaurs are in the real world for like 2 minutes. That was that was fun. I really liked I really liked that. So glad in Jurassic World Dominion we didn't get an entire movie about that. I was really pleased with that fact.
Oh boy,
But that's another story for
that's
another
another
day.
story. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that sometime.
Yeah. Hey, here's a spooky movie.
Yeah, fine.
Fine.
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, when the cult of Thorn breaks Michael out of county jail.
Oh.
Well,
I
I
believe
I,
it.
I believe it.
Yeah. Having
That
not seen this
sounds pretty
movie,
ridiculous.
having only seen the first Halloween film, I believe it 100%.
Um, Continuing on 9. This is an interesting one.
Ooh.
I want your thoughts on it.
Boo! Poor form. Rocky
So
4. We were literally just talking about this. Rocky
we
4
were
is the
just
best
talking
one.
Rocky 4 when the USSR crowd starts cheering for Rocky.
Boo. I don't even remember that the USSR crowd cheers for Rocky. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
there's probably not a lot of Americans in the crowd since he's in the USSR.
Mm-hmm.
Still, still. I would go with, and they mentioned in the little text down here, the fifth one where he gets a robot butler. That's the point where I knew I'm like, ooh, I'm not gonna like this movie, am
Yeah.
I? And I didn't, because Rocky 5 is bad.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this one. I guess it is pretty out there for the USSR crowd to cheer for Rocky draped in an American flag, especially during the Cold War.
Such an iconic image, though.
It is an iconic image. That being said, I'm sure there are other shark jumping moments in movies far more deserving of being on this list.
Agreed. Freaking Jacob Shelton, you're on thin ice, buddy, all right?
Finished.
So you better pull out a good one for the next one. What do we got? Oh, another film series that I've only seen the first one and I have no desire to watch the rest of them, one like Halloween.
Yeah.
Have you seen the first Saw?
No.
Ah, man. So this one's Saw 4 when Jigsaw communicates with Mark Hoffman from Beyond the Grave. Look, all right, the first Saw movie, actually not that bad. It's pretty all right, full stop. It's definitely pretty intense and pretty gory, but it's not that bad. I enjoyed it. But from conversing with other people on Letterboxd, I know that all the rest of them just like pretty much go just to gore and
Or
really
would you say
stuff.
they spiral?
I mean, I guess, but it seems like such an odd choice of words. Very specific. Are you trying to? Am I missing something here? What?
It, oh boy. Oh man. I fell flat on my face. Oh man.
No,
Oh,
I'm
isn't that the
I'm kidding.
movie?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I'm messing with
okay.
you. I'm messing with
Oh,
you, man.
okay. Oh
I
man,
know
you have
exactly
me
what you're talking
worried.
about. Yeah, no, you could say that, and that would be an accurate statement. Yeah, so that's from what I understand. And so I have no desire to watch the rest of them.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Uh, 11. Speak of the devil.
Ooh, what is it? Hey, yeah, no, see, that's what I'm saying. That's
Alien
exactly what I'm
Resurrection.
saying.
When they make a part xenomorph clone of Ellen Ripley.
Bro, that Humalian thing is freaking disgusting.
It's awful. It's so bad. Yeah. Um, Ripley's story should have ended with aliens.
Hmm.
Uh, I
Gone home, raised Newt, been a happy
yeah,
family.
and that's exactly what happens. None of the other ones exist.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate because I do appreciate some of the lore and world building some of the sequels provide.
agreed. Especially this one.
Hmm.
I I can say I think Aliens 3 is my least favorite one in the series.
Hmm.
Um, but I agree. I think there's some good ideas here in Alien Resurrection.
Hmm.
Just unfortunately, it's a very bad movie.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I think a lot of it stems from them trying to have to explain Ripley back into the mix
Yep.
instead of just going off and doing its own thing.
Yeah, I feel.
Which,
Oh, go ahead.
well, which the newer movies have somewhat done
Yeah.
to varying success.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I feel like a lot of jumping the shark moments could be attributed to like bringing back a dead character. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Yeah. Like, for instance, for those of you that have seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, and don't mind spoilers. I'm going to spoil things right here. Don't listen if you ever plan on watching this like almost 2 decade old show. But do you mind if I spoil an almost 2 decade show?
No,
Okay.
please.
She dies at the end of season 5, and it is such a good ending. The season 5 finale is fantastic. It's a perfect send off for the character, wraps everything up really well. It's a great season, especially after season 4 being kind of iffy. But then another TV channel got like hold of the distributing rights, and they're like, it'd be real cool if we made an awful 6th season and then a hardly any better 7th season. And it's a real shame. Because, yeah, no, that kind of stuff really does just kind of throw all the past storytelling kind of under the bus, you know? It's a shame.
Yeah. No, it's rough.
Anyways, anyway.
12.
Oh my gosh. I want to
Live
watch
free.
John McClane launch a car into a helicopter.
That does sound pretty cool.
It sounds really rad.
This is another one of those franchises where, you know, it makes sense to have John McClane. Like the first Die Hard is great, and it goes without saying.
Oh my gosh.
But then to keep bringing this cop back, who in the first one isn't anything special. It's not like he's a super cop or something. He is just a guy who happens to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mhm.
And to have him keep coming back over and over again for these different situations in of itself is ridiculous.
It really is.
It's not like Mission Impossible where this is literally
Like it's what he
the
does.
it's what he does. And yeah. So in of itself, bringing back Bruce Willis for this many movies
Yeah. No,
is a
I
shark thing, but
agree.
this sounds insane.
I agree.
Granted, it makes me want to watch Live Free or Die Hard.
That's fair. I hear that like 2 and 3 aren't that bad. They're actually pretty good. I
Mhm.
specifically love Die Hard 2 because I love the subtitle Die Harder.
Die
That
Harder.
doesn't make any sense. And I love it. So good. So, but yeah, maybe I'll check these out sometime because that
I would
legit
like to.
sounds rad.
Ooh,
Oh,
13. Terminator Salvation. when Marcus discovers that he's a human Terminator hybrid.
Ooh, a bit of a theme of villain hero hybrids.
Yeah, yeah. Have you seen Terminator Salvation?
I have not. I've only seen, although fun fact about me, it was one of two movies I had on my little MP3 player Walkman as a high schooler. I had
Huh?
Terminator Salvation and I had Journey to the Center of the Earth.
The Brendan Fraser one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Which rocks. But I never actually watched Terminator Salvation because I'm like, well, I haven't seen the first two Terminators, so
Right.
why would I? So no, I still haven't gone around to it.
It's wild.
That's what I hear.
But I will say Christian Bale is pretty cool. Anton Yelchin is in it, and he's really good.
Hey, R.I.P.
Yeah. Um, so I need to be careful what I say because my wife loves this movie.
She does? I think I knew that. Did
Yeah,
I know that? I
and
think I
she
knew
and
that.
it's a guilty pleasure. She's well aware. She's well aware. But that's why we watched it is because it's her guilty pleasure. And to be fair, it once again it contributes some cool ideas to the Terminator world. And I actually don't have that much of a problem with the human Terminator hybrid idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think the execution of it was more of the issue.
Interesting.
Um, I I'm not opposed to the idea, but I think it needs to be done really well, and this movie did not do it really well.
Okay. Huh.
And it's also like the most when did this movie come out? Late
2007.
2000, yeah, mid to late 2000s action flick ever. Uh, and I still personally believe that we haven't seen Sam Worthington more because James Cameron has had him in
He
a cage,
definitely
only
still
letting him
has a.
out
Yep.
when he needs him to film parts for Avatar 5.
Yep. James Cameron's not letting him out until
Nope.
then. Interesting.
Hey,
Hey,
another franchise we just talked about.
yeah. One that you are gonna watch soon, maybe.
I am Rambo First Blood Part 2 when Rambo takes out the Soviet military with a knife and a bow and arrow. And I'm excited for this because I know this is where we get a lot of really iconic Rambo stuff. This is exactly what Weird Al parodies in UHF. Is this his iconic explosive bow and arrow? Well, I guess explosive arrows. And I don't think the bow is explosive.
No, probably not.
And his
Okay.
Rambo knife. Um, well, and I'm really excited for it.
Very,
And I'll give you my updated thoughts once I watch it.
very good. I'm looking forward to it. I want to hear it. I just love hearing your voice.
I love listening to you too, my
I
friend.
was gonna say that you're my guilty pleasure.
Ooh,
So yeah, you know, it be like that sometimes. What can you say?
look, I
Interesting.
accidentally closed out of it.
I'll have to watch them.
All right, I closed out of the link on
It's okay.
accident.
We only
I
got
know.
10 minutes left on this recording, so we can. All right, we're wrapping it up because this one freaking has an entry from Mission Impossible Ghost
And
Protocol.
I need to hear
Nope.
your thoughts on this.
Nope. Mission Impossible has never jumped the shark. It's freaking grabbed the shark out of the ocean, just stabbed it a bunch of
Wow.
times. And then Tom Cruise became the shark, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Wow.
put in a lot of training at aquariums to prepare for the role,
Like,
you know?
didn't he have the record for longest time held? He held his breath underwater for the
He
longest time
used
on
to.
screen. Used to. That's
I
been beaten
think
recently.
someone from Avatar 2 has it beaten
Oh,
now.
was it Zoe Saldana?
I don't
I,
know. I'd have to look it up.
we'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know he used to hold that record. So it's that
Mhm.
shark train.
It is. Yeah, so Bad List, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol is one of the best entries on the entire in the entire franchise. Even the Rogue Nation's my favorite. Anyways, what fun
And
we've had.
what fun indeed. Is there 16?
there's 16. It's one from Pirates of the Caribbean,
Oh,
but that franchise jumped the shark when they made a second one.
yeah, yeah. Once again, it's an unfortunate one because there is no reason for there not to be sequels.
Yeah.
It's just the sequels are bad.
Yep. Which is a shame because Curse of the Black Pearl is one of the most enjoyable action adventure movies ever made, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Up there with like The Mummy and
Hmm.
Indiana Jones. They're just a ton of fun. Mummy 99, not Mummy
Not
2017. I know some of you were thinking it.
no.
I'm not a heathen. Jeez.
And this is coming from someone who loves Tom Cruise.
And this is coming from someone who loves Tom Cruise. Honestly.
It's
Anyways,
unfortunate.
that's my rant for the day.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I want them to make a new Monsters universe. I
that
like
would
the
be really
idea of
cool.
bringing like old Universal monsters to the silver screen again.
It'd be really cool.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. And you viewers and listeners at home will also see, maybe.
Probably.
If you want to see, then you will see.
And
All you
you'll
have to do is believe.
believe
Believe.
and follow us on Letterboxd.
And follow us on Letterbox. I'm at Shadow Spider 004.
And I'm Jetpack Cat Zero.
And yeah, follow us on Letterbox. Because then if you don't see, you'll see us see the things to see.
Yes.
And then we'll tell
And
you about what we have seen. And you'll see what we think about what we've seen. And you'll see that we are right.
yes. No, exactly. And for those of you out there, if you don't already follow Shadow Spider 004, it's well worth it. I base a lot of my what should I watch off of your reviews.
And if you
I
guys don't,
take so much of your reviews into account when I choose a movie to
oh,
watch.
and if you guys don't follow Jetpack Cat Zero on Letterbox, you should do the same thing that I do, which is when they post a new review or a ranking or something and they like it, you should go like, man, that sounds
Ooh,
like a movie I want to watch, which
no,
is
what I
what I
should
do.
do?
What's
I
up?
should finally make my top 50 movies public so you can look at it.
Please, we could compare
'Cause
notes next week.
yes, I'd love to. Because I think I finally got around to finishing.
Please. All right, viewers. Now you have to follow us so you can see
Yeah,
our lists and follow
absolutely.
along at home. Play Letterboxd bingo if you want. I don't know how you do that, but do it. Figure it out, and then tell us.
You know what I was thinking earlier is I'm wondering when we're going to bring up Army of Darkness again because I think we've talked about that movie every single time
Pretty much,
we've had
yeah.
a podcast, and I feel like it's my fault. But I was like, man, if our listeners took a shot every time I brought up Army of Darkness.
That's the free space. Dern mentions Army of Darkness.
Dude, I got Evil Dead 2 on VHS today.
Oh
I
no
ordered it about a week
way!
ago, and so
Oh, that
yeah,
is so rad.
really excited to watch it later this month. I'm debating
Sure.
what movies I want to watch on Halloween, and
Mhm.
Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness are high up there. So,
That's a good call. I think you should do that. That is a very good idea.
so anyway,
Anyways,
so how much time do we have left?
3 minutes.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for listening to our podcast. We really appreciate it. We enjoy all the support
Mhm. And we
and
know
the
you
attention.
guys don't have any other choice than to listen to this
No,
podcast since it's the only one.
it is the only one, and you know we hope that someday in the future there will be someone else brave enough to start a podcast of their
Step
own.
up to the plate. Yeah.
But
It'll
for
be a
now,
big swing and a miss, but
yeah,
it's at least a swing. Not akin to some movie I enjoy. I can't think of anything at the moment though.
swing and a miss.
A big swing and a miss.
A big swing and a miss. Um,
Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. There we go.
ooh,
That's a big swing and a miss, but a swing
yeah,
I love with all my heart.
yes, yes. Well, I'm with you on. Well, kind of.
We'll talk
I
about that
agree that
some.
it's a swing and a miss.
That's another one we should talk about. We should talk about
ouch.
our hot takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe we'll combine the two and do a top 50 and a hot takes, or we'll
Dude,
separate
I'm
them.
excited. I'm excited
I'm
for
gonna
that.
put that in my notes. Yeah.
Please do.
So you viewers have something to look forward to. Because I know you guys are just sitting with bated breath in front of your computers, refreshing the page
Refreshing the page.
until a new episode drops.
And of course, Dominique, it's always a pleasure doing the podcast.
Bro, this is so much fun to do. I love doing it.
I always have a great time. I have a great time.
Me too. And I hope you viewers at home have a good time. Now we're gonna go have a good but private and not recorded time. So
Oh.
we'll see you guys later.
Until the next time, folks.
Bye.
Bye.